Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Gavin Sandell. Well, we're dealing with some impactful weather this Thanksgiving holiday. Remember, we got lake effect to our north, and we also have some howling winds Wednesday and Thursday. But this does not compare to what people call the storm of the century 75 years ago. And it was a pretty minute setup. Pretty typical to what we have in the wintertime. We had a low pressure system cooped up north on the Great Lakes and a developing one on that triple point between this occluded front, warm front, and cold front here. This is November 24th in the morning. Like I said, this was strengthening, and it was also sandwiched in between a strengthening high pressure and a strengthening high pressure again to the west. And when you have that, you strengthen what's called the pressure gradient between those two things. And the pressure gradient is what determines the wind. So when you have a higher pressure gradient, you have a higher amount of wind. So what I'm getting to here is this isn't just a snow or rain threat. This is a big flooding and wind threat as well for everybody here. We're going to continue this going through low pressure strengthening, high pressure strengthening. These areas here are getting blanketed with snow. Portions east of State College getting blanketed with rain. But remember, this low pressure system is sandwiched and it's only getting bigger, meaning these fronts, they can only move north from where they're going. So portions of southeast Pennsylvania going into New York, they're in really drenching rains now. They're going to quickly turn into snow. And that's exactly what happened going into the afternoon hours of November 25th. All of the areas here are getting snow. And remember, the areas here, they've just been getting blanketed with snow for the last 2 or so days. By the time we got to the 26th, though, that low pressure began to weaken, as did that high pressure. So things started to subside. Didn't fully subside until we got to about the 29th. But still, once we had those couple days of snow, it really hammered on. Lots of records were set during this storm. Youngstown's storm total of 28.7, greatest on record, still stands. Newcastle, almost 3 feet of snow. Steubenville, 44 inches, that's almost 4 feet. That is the Ohio State storm record that still officially stands. Pittsburgh, again, like Newcastle, almost 31 inches. And the bullseye, listen, I like bullseyes in winter storms, but I don't know if I would want to be in that one with 57 inches of snow. Several other records were set because remember, this wasn't just a snow threat. This was rain, this was wind, and this was cold temperatures as well. 3 states recording gusts of over 100 miles an hour. The biggest one, New Hampshire in Concord, 110 mile an hour gusts. That's a category 2 or 3 hurricane there. Also rain, once you forgot, further east of central Pennsylvania. Pottsville and Reading, that's in southeast Pennsylvania, got over 6 inches. Slide Mountain, that's the highest peak in the Catskill range of New York, 7.78 inches. And remember, this was in November, so things don't get too cold, but there were a couple states that got to 0. And states that you wouldn't expect, North and South Carolina, they got both below 0. Georgia, Arkansas got to 0 degrees. This was a crazy event. And remember, it's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm a big sports fan. A big thing happens, the Ohio State-Michigan game. And in 1950, that'll be a year to remember because we call that the Snow Bowl. 8 inches fell during that game, and it was delayed for over 2 hours because the officials couldn't get the tarp off. There was just too much snow, and it was a punt fest 45 times, and it was on first and second down as well. This was a strategic punting game, something you'll never see now. Each score, it was a 9-3 Michigan win. Each score came off of a blocked punt. It was a touchdown, a safety, and a field goal. Safe to say, even though the weather is going to be crazy this year, we will never see something like that again. Nothing really will compare to that storm of the century 75 years ago. For Weather 101, I'm Gavin Sandell.